Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's I'm going to be reviewing the new Subaru WRX, and this one has a manual. Before we get into this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Nate Wade Subaru here in Salt Lake for giving me some time with this car. I'll include a link to their website in the description down below. Also include a link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get right into it. Under the hood, we have a turbocharged 2.4 liter flat 4 cylinder that goes through a 6-speed manual. Fuel economy is 19 around town and then 26 on the highway, with power outputs being 271 horsepower and then 258 pound-feet of torque. Before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you're going to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So just like every WRX since the beginning of time, we've got the cool hood scoop there in the center, and then sharp headlight design here. Pretty cool looking overall. And then you got the metallic gray there for the grille that goes with the Subaru logo. Fog lights here at the bottom. And so overall, it's a sporty looking Subaru. Now on the side here, our tire wheel setup is 245 by 40 by 18 in the front and over in the rear. And you can see here with the wheels, you've got the metallic gray there. And then I love the fender flares here. And look at the trim there along the side as well. And then if we take a few steps back, yeah, that's pretty cool looking with the side profile. Taking a look at the key fob, we got Subaru's normal fob with the lock and unlock function, opening for the trunk, and pop it open. Now popping into the cargo area, you can see there's quite a bit of space here in the back. The WRX is a relatively practical car, not much else to go over. I guess I'll quickly pull up the loading floor here. So, see that whole setup there. Anyways, plop. You see the little spoiler here on the back, and then look at the taillight design. And then I love the quad exhaust tips, but there's the rest of the rear. Now take a look at the door panel in the rear. You guys can see cloth trim here, and then this is cool. It goes across, and then soft touch down below. And then we've got cloth seats with this particular one. Got nice stitching throughout with that. Getting super easy, just kind of plop into it. Surprisingly spacious back here for such a small car. Got some USB ports here in the back. I will say these seats are actually pretty dang comfortable. And the headroom back here is decent. Now take a look at the front door panel again. You can see the soft touch trim and then the cloth down below, and then more soft touch here. All of our window controls. Got your mirror adjustments, and look at that. And then here's a quick look at the mirrors themselves. And look at the front seat. Again, really nice trim all down the center. And then 3-pedal layout, and this is cool with this trim. And then the dash at the very top, it's soft touch. Now take a look at the steering wheel. You can see soft touch all around. Got the Subaru logo there front and center. You've got practical controls for like the adaptive cruise control. This is pretty cool. WRX on it. And then you've got your volume and voice command controls as well. And you can see the regular stocks here on the back. And also I like the red stitching on the steering wheel. It's nice. Mostly analog gauge cluster with the little screen in the center, which you can see different bits of information on the car. Simple setup, but it works. Just a regular backup camera in reverse. Nothing too crazy happening with that. And then as for the infotainment system itself, it's big. It's really big. You've got the climate controls accessible at the bottom. This also has heated seats integrated as well. And overall response time of the screen, there is plastic wrapping on it, but I mean, you can see it's pretty quick. And then I like how there's some physical buttons on the sides of the screen too. Got some USB ports and everything. And look at the shifter here. It's nice for the 6-speed manual. Reverse lockout, by the way, is just over there. And then glove box. Oh, almost forgot this whole area, and then you got a little brake. And it does have a center console, it's just kind of small. And then this one also has a sunroof. So here's a quick look at the window sticker. This is a WRX Premium. After all options, $38,433 is the total MSRP. The price you pay for a sports car, right? Let's see how it drives. So this is going to be a little bit of a weird one, but as you guys can see, my video decided to record in time-lapse instead of normal footage. So this will be, I guess, the fastest test drive you guys have ever seen in the history of the channel. Just hysterical. But anyways, I just want to quickly talk about how the WRX drives, and I'll cap off this video. This is definitely going to be a shorter video because of what happened. But essentially, really good dampening from the suspension. They kind of try to make this new WRX more rally-like, and so just everything with the suspension is really comfortable for the type of car it is. The transmission's great with the manual, and the fact that you still offer it in a manual, I think is fantastic. I wouldn't really go for the CVT version personally. It's a CVT, right? And you're always going to want a manual in a sports car. But yeah, good power. The seats are pretty comfortable as well. And yeah, just in general, the new WRX drives really well, and I think it's really underrated because it is relatively affordable compared to other kind of like performance cars. Like if you want a new Volkswagen GTI, yeah, those are pretty similar in price, but front wheel drive. The Golf R that has all wheel drive like WRX is like 50 grand nowadays, and then a Civic Type R front wheel drive, those are almost 50 grand. And so everything's more expensive, and then the WRX is super tunable. And this is one of the things that I think is kind of funny, because it seems like Subaru people don't like the new WRX because they can't lose their entire life savings just to give it 400 horsepower. Because if you don't know, the new WRX, you literally can just do a quick like plug and play tune, exhaust, downpipe, and boom, 400 horsepower. Whereas with the previous gen, you have to spend like well over $10,000 to get that thing to have 400 horsepower. And so maybe that's the reality of things for Subaru people, is they don't actually care about the performance of the car. They just care about spending money. Anyways, sorry about that whole mix up with the car video being filmed in time lapse instead of regular. It happens. I'll see you. Oh, let us set off in the Canyon Denali. I will say right off the bat, I just reviewed an AT4 before this, and I'm kind of thinking, why would you wait at the Denali when the AT4 exists? Because they have the same features, but the Denali's like 3 grand more expensive. Initial thought. Seats are comfortable though, which is nice. GM seats are firm. I find that very interesting, because a lot of manufacturers like try to make like sofas now, I feel like, with their seats. And GM's like, no, we are going to remain firm. Firm seats, which isn't that big of a deal, just interesting to note. Good torque, that's for sure.